Good morning, everybody. It's about 20 after 9 on the 16th, on Wednesday of January 2019. And this is an update for our traders. Reminder to use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. Disclosures on our site, and we assume you read them and understand that there are no guarantees. We do our best to try to help traders understand how to take something out of the market every day. Some opportunities are better than others. There's going to be a lot of swing and a miss, just like baseball, but hopefully you will connect, and the ones that you do connect on, perhaps you'll have your wins outweigh your losses. But it's a tricky business, and we have a very unique way of looking at the market, and so let's take a look. Overnight, last night, I posted that there was a magnet at 2.5. Would be very important. So far, that magnet held. And usually, if you are above a magnet and it comes down to it, that's the first place you want to think about making sure you are paid. And then if we get a bounce off of that, we know that's support until broken. So that's our premise right now. In a 5-minute chart in Globex, in the overnight sessions and all-day session, is a fast chart. So typically, I also want to go back and I want to look at something like a 10-minute variety and say, where are you? And that tells me this O2, as I had already posted in the Slack room, is going to be a big deal as support till that breaks. That's support. And if I want to go look at a normal chart, which is our 15, and I can see it even farther back here at that 98. So if this breaks, then the door opens up to this territory right down here. And remember yesterday I had said at the time, this 92 better be paid, 95 to 98. And 92 we were going to use for support. And that is held. So that is also support for now. Now, that doesn't mean you have to play overnight, but it does mean the way I was reading the tape, that I thought that was a very important neighborhood to make sure you were paid. And you can see that's played out. Anybody that has the long side, typically we want to make sure we are paid ahead of the open. So if you've played a directional move, you can carry a trailer if that's the way you like to play, but you should make sure you got something out of this rhythm if you have played for the double top test. Angels and demons. 14.5 is our demon, the 04 is our angel, and that's why this morning I said this neighborhood down here, 4 to 6, going to try to support. And obviously that 12 to 14, the first and most important barriers right here overnight. And if you get above that, then obviously the high is available for testing, and obviously the demon. So again, in low overnight volume, we've had another new high. Yesterday's target, we said, could get to that 17 WT1. That was achieved overnight. So now we've got to look upside, and I've identified those on the chat box, the targets above and below. There's our weekly look. We can see this 4.5 is going to be an important idea. You got to get through this box if you like the short side. Till we do that, market is still favoring the upside. We are above this 98, 99 area, which was last week's high. So above that, we are in breakout territory, trying to find new resistance. Step by step, we're just trying to go through the ideas. Every day, if you do this, you'll have an edge. Here is our predictive model for the day. It suggests Obviously, the middle back here at 97, 98, very important idea. If that breaks, it opens the door to the 92s to 95s that we were just talking about. Theoretically, on this chart, this is where the flip comes. Above this, it's positive. Below this, trying to find support. And you can see why this morning I felt that this 07 and 17 were a nice combination to look at with this 12 idea as a middle idea, right? Just looking over to your left at the numbers. Just keep it simple. Don't let everybody else use their complicated algorithms and theories and whatever. Keep it simple. You want to look at it on a weekly basis? You can't beat this chart. Showed us right where support should be at 78 area. We said that's support till broken, and we've had a nice thrust upside, continuing to search for resistance. Couple of minutes, the market will be opening. So we've got the open, we've got the 10 area, which basically the overnight middle as the half gap. We've got you can see a little bit of an aggressive channel that's happened since early this morning, and buyers, they came in and said, I favor going back and doing a range type trade rather than going to get the gap. And part of that is because of risk reward ratio. You've got a point or two left, or you can take some profits, and then that gets goosed a little bit here. So I'm advising traders today to be a little bit cautious. We can get the upside move, whether we get a ramp. I wasn't thinking we would get that. I think we need to be very conservative about expectations if we take out the high and if we start to run into the 20s. Anybody wants to short using 22 as the resistance? Anybody wants the long side? You're using 10 for your support right now because that's the half gap and that's the middle. And if you don't like the neighborhood that this is opening in, don't do anything. Just stay sidelines and wait for a trade that better suits you. You can see where we've got trapped shorts from down here at where we closed from 4.5 to 575. And really not a lot of good odds right here. Buying this high and then trying to sell higher, it's a very aggressive trade. Anybody that's trying to do that. Scene of the crime, reminder 88.75. Right now, if you're looking at your angels and demons, there's still no evidence yet of a demon attempting to knock out the high. So theoretically, shorts are being squeezed right now still. And I'm not a fan of just closing your eyes and buying today. There's sometimes you'll miss a good trade, but over time, that's not a high odds trade. So I caution anybody who's trying to go long here, very aggressive trade. And sometimes the worst thing that happens is you have a trade that works out, and then you depend on that, and then you start to have in your arsenal a trade that really has a very low odds over time of succeeding. And we can tell from overnight that this 04 had held, the 02s had held, so that's got to be support until proven otherwise. Burden is on the shorts to undermine this. Beige book this afternoon. I've not found the beige book to really be a market mover lately, but should be aware of it. This is a squeeze type trade right now. Keeping an eye on NQ. NQ likewise, if we're looking at their model, obviously I'm looking at 6,800 as a potential resistance target that NQ has been looking at. So keep an eye on that. And I think today may be a game of whack-a-mole. And today, if you don't find any trade that you like, chalk it up and just say missed opportunities, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. And usually if traders are trapped, they get squeezed a bit first before you think about a move, a contra to it. Using 22 resistance, anybody that wants to short. And if you get stopped out, accept it. Trend has been up. We have said all along, in an uptrend, you buy support until proven otherwise. A little bit of a squeeze trade on the overnight shorts. And once again, we've made another higher high, and we don't know yet because the day's not over whether we've made a higher high, higher low. But that pattern has continued with the higher highs. We've suggested potential target of 22 as our first resistance target today. And if you are a conservative trader, do not apologize. This is a game of longevity. I said earlier that normally you want to make sure that you are paid coming into the open. If you choose to carry a trailer, that's up to you if you've got one, or move your stops up. So if you are still in this trade, same thing. And at this point in time, I'm going to suggest that this 12 area is now very important. I said this would be an important neighborhood today. So you're getting to a potential spot where you don't want to, if you've taken a risk, you want to make sure you get paid for it. Don't let it bleed back on you. Very, very tough trade for humans. For bot, no problem. Let me at them. Because the bot is programmed just to buy high and sell higher. All right, anybody coming into the 1875 to 22, all stops up. And anybody that is looking to short, you still have no evidence that a general or a big boy agrees with you that enough is enough. And usually we like to have a general on our side. The big boys saying, no, you're going far enough. I want better odds coming the other way. All right, this is our opening swing game right now. So anybody that's got the long side, time and price, good time to make sure you are paid right now.